Alright guys, welcome. Today we're going to be doing the finals from the Aureil Stormgate circuit, the 9th week. This is going to be a best out of 5 between msrm and High. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the blue Inferno player, we have msrm. And in the upper, also left hand corner of the map, we have as the red Vanguard player, we have High. Hi! Alright, this is Lunar Base Gamma. It's a new map. We saw it in the semifinals just a moment ago, if you watched the series before this. Now, this map, your third base is kind of going towards each other, or you can expand elsewhere. But you won't have any Therium. That's what we were talking about the last time. The base layout is very interesting. You could take your first, your natural, and then you have to make a choice. Okay, your choice is take this little downstairs base that doesn't have any Therium at it and expand out towards this way where you will eventually get a Therium base, or take the risky base with the Therium, which is next to your opponent spawning or going towards their spawn. And you also have Wellsprings. We saw Mixdude fortify the Wellspring in the one game, and msrm was unable to take this third base. Will we see that from High, though? I don't know. Nobody's really played this map too much. It is a new map. Aureil made it, I believe. So, we haven't really seen it. This is the first tournament that we've had it, so we don't really know what the different types of play you can have on this map is. But I think it's a really crazy map. Also, the Stormgates spawn very close to a lot of bases. You have 5 Stormgates, but you got 3 of them in this centerized area and 1 on either end over here. And this one is super close to the third, so if it so much as goes off here, it could probably snowball very rapidly into either player's favor. It looks like High is going for multiple Lancers. We have Biokinetic Slap going down after. So it looks like we might be seeing more of a bio style out of High. Yep, we have lots and lots of barracks. We have 6 racks, it looks like. And meanwhile, msrm is fortifying his third base over here. He's got a couple production buildings. Everything's looking pretty normal. Got the ritual chamber going down. Yeah, just macroing up, trying to deny this pressure that High is putting on his third base. He's got a couple brutes, and he's using the choke point here to try to not get surrounded by that third Lancer. We also have a couple Gaunts coming out. But like I said, there is this Wellspring on the high ground, and it's pretty easy to go back and fortify and then continuously do pressure on this third. I think msrm realizes that, and he said, okay, we're going to have to stop you from healing up. Hold on a second. Soon. Now, this Stormgate's going off, and it's pretty far off. And we actually already have the Exos on the field, too. That's a lot of Exos quickly. So, I mean, it's only 3, so he's got like 3 rounds, but 2 more are coming. So, Exos are really strong. All right, we're gonna need as msrm to have some upgrades. We're gonna need to get the Gaunt upgrade really quickly, probably as msrm. He's got the Hellborn, so the Hellborn's actually going to be able to kind of push them back for the time being before these upgrades are able to kick in. But again, this Wellspring is going to be able to heal them, so msrm's going to have to take this higher ground. He's going to have to fight for it, or he's going to have to just keep dealing with the constant pressure. They're both just fighting for this position, knowing that factor. The Stormgate is going off, but it's just in such an awkward position that neither party is going to get it. I don't really know who's coming on top of this. We haven't lost the Hellborn as msrm, but we've lost a significant amount of Exos units as High, but we still have... Okay, the Veterancy one went out, and we actually have the Sentry Post going out, so we are seeing similar play of fortifying this Wellspring area that we saw in the semifinals. And the servos, super strong servos, they're able to surround the Hellborn there and take it out. It looks like maybe msrm might have to sacrifice this base. This base is just really, really hard to hold down, especially as going against somebody that is only going 2 base of their own. Holding a third base is really difficult, not only on any map, but just specifically on this map because of this that Vanguard is able to do. All right, now we do have Reaper's Rush being upgraded, so he's going to be trying to get on top of the Exos with the Gaunts and using the speed of the Gaunts to try to not let the Exos kite them. Now these servos are actually getting caught off guard, it looked like, for a second. They did move. I think they're going to try to... I don't know if they're trying to take the base, or I don't know what their plan was there. But, yeah, msrm pushed back, taking the third base, the little pocket base I was talking about over here. Let's see. We do have the Greater Shrine. I don't know if we're going to be seeing tech switch to Hexens, because that would be ideal, I feel like, versus this much bio. The Hexens are super strong, especially when you get the Necrotic Hex field down on these units, but you do need a lot of Therium to be able to do that, and it looks like High is taking his third base, but he's not taking one of the risky bases. He's not taking one of these bases that might easily get taken out. He's choosing to take this nice little pocket hidden base over here and just try to pump out as much Therium, or I mean Luminite that he can, because he doesn't really need as much Therium for the unit comp that he's going for, so he's safe to probably take this base over here. And msrm is taking all the bottom south bases like we saw in the semifinals. I don't know if it's just going to end up being obligatory to do that on this map because of especially against a Vanguard player, because of their ability to be able to do that with the sentry posts and fortify that area. I feel like maybe just taking these bases is better versus Vanguard, and that might just become the meta on this map. But we'll see over time. We do have some traps going down from the Hexens, so I was right. We are seeing Hexens. It's just a matter of teching up to the Miasma. Alright, so we do have the Miasma ability being researched now. It takes some time though. This upgrade, I want to say you can't actually tell how long it takes, but I want to say it's either 60 seconds or 90 seconds. It does take some time. And then you also have to have enough energy from the Hexens to be able to use the Miasma. It looks like the Exos are just going around trying to see if they can pop anything, you know, if they can shoot anything, if they can kill anything. But msrm's following him around. He's just keeping really good map awareness. You can use these skulls to also get map awareness. Now it looks like High is trying to get this Stormgate. The Miasma is not done yet, but does High know that? He does see the Hexen, so for all he knows, he might be trying to stay back because he doesn't want to get caught off from the Miasma, even though it's not done yet. He doesn't actually know that yet. He hasn't seen one go down yet. He's trying to hit from a different angle, but the Miasma is probably going to be done very, very shortly. Very, very shortly. So in just a moment, we are going to be seeing him drop some Necrotic Hex fields, and once those go down, it is really, really going to zone out High. And it looks like even without it, he's already doing such a good job of zoning him out as it is. All these units are at such low health. I feel like he could maybe even win this without the Miasma. But the Miasma is done, so that's just going to actually fortify possibly a win for msrm, but we don't know for sure because, you know, look at High. He also has expanded significantly, but the Necrotic Hex fields are going down, and did you see how much damage those units took? They're dying still because it's damage over time. So even though they stepped away and they look like they're at like 1 HP, they might still die, and then when they die, there's going to be a Phantom that spawns, which might take out another Exo that's in close vicinity, and none of these Exos are able to really push forward and kite. They're just, because if they come too forward, they're going to be standing in the Hex fields. And now the Hex fields are going down on top of the servos, which is going to turn all these servos into Phantoms, as you see. And now the surround from the Phantoms is just taking down everything else, and in the back lines, the Hellborns are just raining their basketballs of fire down, and I don't think there's much more that High can do. I think he's holding on because he still has his base over here, and he knows that he can still produce a lot of units from this base, but yeah, just taking the copium and realizing that it is over, and the GG is called. msrm takes game number 1. Alright, game number 2. msrm is up a game in the finals. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have as the blue Infernal player, we have msrm. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have as the red Vanguard, we have Hi. Right. msrm is taking an expand first. Here come the servos for the expand first from Hi as well. And we saw this last game. Not last game, but the last series that msrm played on this map. And I pointed it out, and I just want to point it out again. I really like the effigy placement with the Iron Vault over here, because when this Iron Vault finishes, it's going to create Shroud of its own, which will actually allow a base to be placed on Shroud. And you don't actually have to use another effigy, so you can save your energy that you would have had to use to place the effigy. And you can use that for maybe Health Spawn Resurgence, or you can use it for more effigies that are in more important locations later on. So definitely like that placement on this map. Take note of that, Infernal players. Looks like Hi is opening very similar to the last game. Not a lot of guys on the Ethereum, so I'm going to say that we might be seeing bio play again from him, unless he's just trying to get a quick third, which he also could be doing. We have 2 Lancers, so I'm going to say that he's going to be throwing down another barracks and a biokinetic slab very shortly. Third base going down from msrm, and as you see, he didn't need to place the effigy because of the Shroud from the Iron Vault. So far, so actually he opened Conclave first, and then into the Iron Vault. So I feel like he was just trying to really speed up the Ritual Chamber, and he wanted to be able to get the third quick as well. So I think prioritizing the Conclave first allows him to get that Ritual Chamber up. Here comes a couple Lancers. Another Conclave here. Sped it up on accident. So we have couple Brutes chasing down the Lancers, very similar to what we saw last game, except we had a third Lancer during the same situation, I feel like, from Hi. So we have 5, so I think he had 6 racks before, and he only has 5 racks this time, so slightly different variation of it. I don't know what the reason is. That's probably why we see one less Lancer out. The Biokinetics Lab probably going to be getting lots of Exos out like we saw last time. The center Stormgate is going off. He's trying to go to the Wellspring to heal it first. It looks like was his original plan, but now he's circling back over. We have any servos coming out to build a sentry post. I don't see any yet. So maybe no sentry post forward expansion, or, forward area taken by Hi. This is a lot of Exos, and it's really hard to deal with the Exos as Infernal until you get some upgrades, so sacrificing this Stormgate is probably the best bet. These servos are coming out now, and they're going to be building a third base, so he took the first Stormgate, got all his production up, base is saturated, and now taking a third. He actually got the Soul Forge, and he made a couple more Exos, so just adding to the Exo count here. And now he's going to be trying to do some damage of his own before any upgrades complete. He's trying to hit at an earlier timing, I think, or just trying to be hit very strong. It's like he knows that if he waits until the miasma is done, it's gonna be really hard to deal with like last game. But again, this Hellborn, msrm using the Hellborn like we saw to try to zone out the Exos to not allow them to be able to come in and do the damage. It looks like they were trying to pick off this Conclave, which is really important for later on. Because you really want to stop, either the Gaunts or the Hexens from being produced, because they kind of will counter your Exos. So it looks like that's what he was hoping. Maybe he could, pick off a Conclave, but no. Now he's going to come in. It's just picking off whatever he can. But again, this Hellborn, it just zones them out. Like, you cannot really push forward. It looks like Hai is playing very, very macro heavy this game compared to the last game. He's already taken a 4th base. last game he was kind of two base or die trying for just a little bit and then taking a third. So we're seeing heavier like he's gonna have a lot more resources. As you can see, the supply count isn't too far off. MSRM's taking it forward too, but High did it a little bit faster and it's already up and going. I mean, he does have the servo overcharge, so he was able to use that to get it up faster. But still, he's got quite a bit of mining units, you know, like workers mining, and he's also taking a lot of gas too. So we're gonna see a lot of upgraded exos, maybe some med techs. Actually, okay, he's going for a hangar bay, so we're gonna see some Hornet play. Alright, meanwhile, MSRM is just teching up, getting miasma. It's almost done. Also getting a Twilight Spire. Probably trying to tech into a dragon. I don't think he knows that there's the hangar bay out yet. Or he might be just going for drops. I mean, we don't know for sure if it's Hornets. It could just be drops. He's got the machine lab. So I don't know if we're going to be trying... I don't know. It could be Atlas drops. We will have to see what his plan is. He actually is producing some sentry posts in the backline. I think he's worried of drops happening as well, so he's trying to prepare himself for the possibility of drops.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Alright, Stormgate going off in the far right side. I feel like it might be a little easier for High to get to this because of his reinforcement area, but it looks like he's going to go and try to do a sneak attack maybe. Or it looked like he wanted to.
A Stormgate has appeared.
I think he's just trying to prepare, maybe, for the possibility of MSRM attacking him. And I think MSRM is also doing the same thing and trying to prepare for the possibility of High attacking into him, because neither player is moving to get this Stormgate whatsoever. Actually, a drop tried to go off, but it was spotted, and it is pushed back. A Gaunt over here, lone Gaunt trying to do some work. It was left over from the drop that happened over here. So I think both players were just prepared for either one's shenanigans and was just kind of waiting to see which one would make the first move. This drop is just going to be going back and forth, but meanwhile, it looks like MSRM is taking a fight over here at the base, at the third base of High. And these Hellborns are caught off a little off guard. Do we have Miasma? I think we do, so Miasma is going to start going off in a moment. And actually, MSRM kind of maybe not in the best position, but utilizing all the damage that he can do over here, trying to take out as many servos. And these units are just standing in the necrotic hex fields taking damage, and I just kind of took a bit too much damage, I feel like. I mean, a lot of the units are going to go down from MSRM, but a lot of reinforcements are still coming up, and all these exos are just whittled away into nothing, and more necrotic hex fields going down, and units are just getting surrounded, and they're forced to have to go the way of the necrotic hex fields, or just stand there and take damage. And after this, I mean, a drop actually, did it happen in the main? It did. So we do have a drop that happened in the main, and it was actually taking out tons and tons of servos over here too. So taking out the servos from both bases MSRM is doing. So he did lose everything here, and he is running away, but so much damage was done. So much damage was done. We lost almost all the servos at the main, all the servos at the third. We have him trying to resaturate both of these bases, but it's gonna take a second. No damage was done on the other side of the map, so MSRM was he's just still fully saturated. We have 123 to 86 on the supply count differentiate. Yeah. It's gonna be hard for High to stay in this game, but he is playing Vanguard, so you never know. Vanguard is pretty invincible. Right, I think this is going to be the final push from High. He's going to have to do some damage, and he knows it. He knows at this point, if he doesn't equalize the pressure, this is not going to work very good. Like, there's no way he can stay in this game if he doesn't do some damage of his own. Was able to get out of that hex field. And I don't think he wants to commit. He knows that he has to do damage, but he knows that he doesn't have enough as well. He's gonna try to stay in this game in a macro level by taking another base. He's got his other bases back to being saturated, but he wasn't able to make much more army in this process. Now this Stormgate going off, he's not gonna have much to contest it. This is a tier 3 Stormgate, so this could be a game-changing Stormgate right here. If MSRM gets it, he could get some more Soul Forges, or he could get a deep one. This is he could get a Swarm Mother. There's a lot of good things you can get out of a Tier 3 Stormgate. High knows that he can't really contest this. MSRM is taking it down with the main force of his army, but also has a small force trying to zone him out if he does come in. He kept a couple Hexens in that little zone force, and it looks like a drop actually is happening at the same time, and yeah, that was able to make High come back home and deal with that. He had no other option. He can't take any more damage at this point in the game, and we have 2 Soul Forges. Do we have a dragon out? Let's see. We do have the dragon almost complete, so we're going to be seeing double dragons. Triple dragons, I mean. And that's probably going to be the final blow here. There's not a contesting force here. We have very small exo, like bio ball here. We do have a lot of medtechs in it, so I mean, it won't go down to super. I mean, I think this is going to go down really easy, guys. It's going to go down. Waiting for that dragon. There it is, triple dragon. This is it, guys. This is it right here. We have a huge Spriggan force, too. I mean, what can you do? What can you do here? You don't do. You run, apparently, because that's all that you can do. You run home and hope that there's something else at home to save you, which there is not, so the GG will be called momentarily. GG. And MSRM takes game number 2. Alright guys, game number 3 spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. As the blue Inferno player, we have MSRM. And in the upper right-hand corner, we have as the red Vanguard player, we have High. Alright, we are on the 3rd game in this best out of 5. MSRM is up 2 games, so that means High is going to have to do a reverse sweep in order to win this series. We are playing on Magma Chamber. Alright, MSRM has taken Shrine first, as did High. He has taken a command post first opening, both players opening as we see. Very normal. The Iron Vault, Conclave. Now this map, you can take a 3rd base here. When you take this 3rd base here, you can break down these rocks, but you're also kind of vulnerable to either side. You can take, people can come from this side, and people can come from this side. So there's also a level of vulnerability, but you also get, there is Therium to be mined at this location. Or you can take the lower ground, and you can take this base. I think a lot of players do it either or. We will see. MSRM always seems like he likes to take this one. You could probably probably as an Infernal player, it's probably a lot better to do because it's a lot less effigies that you need in order to get this one. You can break down these rocks and then fortify it. It looks like High is going to be taking the same base location. In the semifinals, we saw Mixu take this location. So you can do either or, and both ways are totally fine. Right. We just have, so far, one Lancer coming out. Now, what we see differently is a quick 3rd from High. So, he's trying... It looks like he's been doing different styles, but of bio pushes. So we didn't see such a quick 3rd in any of the other games. So that's going to be a big difference with this game. Right now, MSRM is just taking down the rocks, fortifying his location, taking his production buildings, and, you know, getting his ritual chamber down to be able to upgrade his units as he sees needed. Lancer, single Lancer coming in to scout. He's going to see that he has this third base. You can see the rocks are taken down. He's going to come in and try to see what else is going on over here. A couple more productions. Not really much to see out of the ordinary here, but he knows that at least his opponent isn't two base all-inning him. And meanwhile, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks going down. Okay, wait a second. 7 racks going down. Does he have an 8th rack?
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
All right, so we got a lot more racks. Okay, so we're gonna have more units in the production cycle than we did the other games. So I think he's trying to go for a faster economy and also pump out units faster, but maybe hit at a timing that's slightly delayed, but not too delayed. He might have to sacrifice this Stormgate in order to do it, because if he didn't take that third base, he probably would have had the units to contest this Stormgate and or get it. But I think that Hyde's kind of sacrificing that Stormgate in order to get his base up and to get his production cycles out for the long run. So he's kind of in this for a later game this time rather than that let's get first Stormgate and contest your third push like we see a lot of Vanguard players doing. We just saw the Resurgence go off on the third base of MSRM, so he's using his Resurgence energy to pump out more imps to also stay in this game for the later run. I think he probably realized that from seeing the lack of units that High had, that he knew that he was safe to not have to worry about making units and he can focus on his economy for the time being. High wanted to come in and do a little damage, but doesn't want to overextend into this because he knows that he doesn't have as many production cycles done that he would have had in other games, because he does have that third and he is playing more economically safe this game. Do have the Hellborn out, so the Hellborn's going to zone out any pressure like we saw before, but he does have more exos than previous games. Remember that, because he does have more racks and more economy. High and MSRM's supply is about the same. It was just a moment ago, a couple more going in MSRM's favor, but the last games it seemed he was slightly under supply by, just maybe 10 to 15 supply at a lot of times. So the style of play I feel like it's more greedy, but in the long run I feel like I kind of like it a little better from High. Unit wise, there's a lot more. We do have a drop already. I don't know if the Exos saw that drop because he is running home, but he didn't run all the way home, so maybe he didn't. But there is a sentry post that did do some fire on it, so he does see that their drop is in existence now. He's going to try to pick out a couple servos before getting in the drop and moving on with it. He's probably going to try to go to the main now. Now this is going to force High to have to split his army. He's going to have to defend. He's going to have to not be out on the map doing damage of his own because he has to deal with all this of his own. But that was actually a pretty good... Oh, he was one. If those things actually were target firing it, he might have been able to take out that sentry post. And now another drop in this space right here. You're not going to be able to get to the space in any time, at all. And I'm surprised. I feel like he could have committed more, but I guess he knew that his army was running off, so he's just going to go switch back and forth between these two locations and just kind of mentally torture High because he's going to have to keep running back and forth. So he now has his army split. So he has some forces here and some forces here. But now the Stormgate's going off, and all of his army is out of position now because of this drop. I don't know where it went, though. I don't know if he took out the drop. He might have taken out the drop. Or maybe the drop ran home. He might have taken it out. I missed if he took it out or not. But, Stormgate's going off. High's going to come in and try to do some pressure. Try to deny him from getting the Stormgate. But I don't think he has the forces at the moment. He does have quite a bit of Exos. But do we have... we might have Miasma already done. Oh, the Stormgate was taken, actually, by High. He was able to do I feel like MSRM's army could have been there, but it was a little bit late to getting there. But I don't think Hai is going to be able to take what he gets from the Stormgate. MSRM's army got there, and now whatever he gets from here, unless he can get the unstable Necrolisk things and then maybe explode everything, but I don't even think he's choosing anything. Okay, he chooses the drop. So he's going to try to do drops of his own, but are these Gaunts going to be able to take it out? No, he flies it home. It looks like it's going to make it home into safety. Meanwhile, there it is. The dropship did run away, and it did make its way away before, and it was able to do a little damage. It took off a couple of the a couple servos, but not a lot. We still have quite a bit. We still have all the bases still pretty saturated from Hai, so except this one. Space is really not saturated. He only has 3 workers on it. Yeah, I feel like those drops are just really pulling Hai's army in all directions. I mean, he's just having to go back and forth to deal with it. The main army from MSRM isn't even engaged with the other army yet. It's just kind of playing it safe at home. There's nothing in this dropship. I think maybe he was just trying to use it to find MSRM's army. Maybe, use it as vision, because he hasn't loaded it up yet. It's just kind of hanging out. We have some Shadow Flyers. The Shadow Flyers are going to try to take out this drop because MSRM doesn't want to have a drop of his own. And these drops are really hard to deal with because you can load up twice the amount into these Cosmic Drifters. But here comes another drop. Even though as small as it still is forcing Hai to come back to deal with it. And again, MSRM's just macroing up behind all of this, just literally using the drop to just mess with Hai over and over again continuously. The main army isn't even, doing anything, except now it is setting up for the big fight. This drop is gonna take out what it can over here, but look at that. The miasma is going off now, and Hai getting stuck in his own Sim City, it looks like. Just surrounded by all his buildings, and then when the miasma goes down, they can't really escape out of it fast enough. And there's just so many Hellborns too, but we do have the Hurricane, and as we've seen in some past games, these Hurricanes could be invincible. They can be invincible, but we did have some Shadow Flyers, so he's probably going to be able to make some more Shadow Flyers, which could deal with it. We do have lots of Gaunts, but that Hurricane, it's so scary because it might not die, and the bombing runs are so strong sometimes. Here comes a bombing run, but everything was out of the way, and that was kind of a wasted bombing run. Nothing really took much damage. Stormgate's going off, and it's actually right in the location that MSRM's army already is, and we do have a dragon already out on the field, so this dragon's actually going to be able to deal with the Hurricane probably. He's using it to scout right now and see where the army of Hai is. What are we going to get from this Stormgate, though? Are we going to get a Soul Forge? We got Power Stones. Okay, so we're going to get a Super Dragon. One Super Dragon coming right up, and a Super Hellborn. Now, we do have a lot of bases from Hai. Like, Hai was able to take tons and tons of bases in the opposing direction. A bombing run comes out, and it was able to take off a couple units, but there's still way too many remaining. Hellborns are really huge and bulky, and they're really hard to get in here. This dragon actually is unable to move. He is stuck right here, so this super dragon is literally doing nothing, but now he is free and he is running away. Just so much damage is being done. And this super dragon is taking out the Hurricanes, and once these Hurricanes go down, I think that these are like the Copium Hurricanes right now, because those Hurricanes might be able to keep him in the game, but if they go down, there's not much forces left. The bio is just going to get eaten away by the Hexens. I feel like this dragon is invincible as well too, because it's like a super dragon. A bombing run came out, but now these Spriggans are here, and these Spriggans are going to be able to clean up the Hurricane. And with that, I don't think there's anything that Hai can do now. All his production is getting taken out. The Spriggans are still alive, and the GG is called, and MSRM takes a series, and he wins this week of the Aureil Stormgate circuit. And we will see you guys next week in the final Stormgate circuit.